Please welcome your host, Dion Taylor.
Hey guys, Dion Taylor here. Now in last week's video, I showed you how we can extend Copilot inside of Dynamics 365 by adding actions and topics. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how we can extend the prompt guide inside of Copilot in Dynamics 365 Sales. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So what I'm referring to when I'm talking about the prompt guide in Copilot in Dynamics 365 Sales, I'm really talking about this little thing over here, right? So you can see here it says View Prompts. And when I click on that, that will open my prompt guide. So you can see here that we have several of these, I almost want to call them headers or prompt groups, whatever we want to call them, right? So out of the box, you have Get Info, Ask Questions, and then Stay Ahead and What's New in Copilot. And if I click on these arrows, we can see all the prompts that are in that particular group. So what I ended up doing here is actually add a prompt group, right, called Create Records. And if I click on that, let me just go ahead and expand that, we can now see our Create Case prompt. So that's what I'm going to show you here on how you can actually add and extend the prompt guide inside of Copilot in Dynamics 365 Sales. Now, whenever we're extending Copilot inside of Dynamics 365 Sales, we're doing that inside of Copilot Studio. So let's just switch back to Copilot Studio so I can show you exactly how we can modify this prompt guide. So here we are in Copilot Studio, and you can access Copilot Studio by navigating to copilotstudio.microsoft.com. Now, since we want to modify the Copilot that sits inside of Dynamics 365 Sales, you need to know which one that is, right? It's this one, the Sales Copilot Power Virtual Agents bot. So let's just go ahead and click on that. And then I'm going to go to topics because I want to show you where that menu is actually created, because that is actually done by a topic. So I'm going to look for Sales Sparks, and here you can see my Sales Sparks, right, which is a out-of-the-box custom topic, right, that is already part of this bot. So if I open this, you'll also notice on the top that it says, because this topic is managed and it's non-customizable, we cannot modify that. Well, that is not a problem, because we're going to create our own Sales Sparks topic, and we're gonna add to these Sales Sparks that are already in here. Now, in order to do that, we actually need to, first of all, right, create our own topic, and then we need to set the trigger to exactly the same as it is here in this Sales Sparks topic. So if I click here on Edit, you can see my trigger is Event Received, and then here is my event name, and this is my priority. So you got to make sure that you actually are copying this over. Then the next step we're going to do is we're going to actually copy this text variable node here, but I'm going to get back to that. So first, let's go ahead and create our new topic. So I'm going to say from blank, and I'm going to call this prompt menu. You can call this whatever you would like, obviously, right? I'm going to change this trigger because we said we wanted this to be on the event received. And then here we paste the same event name in here, and we're going to set the same priority here as well. So that's the first thing that we needed to do. I'm going to go ahead and save that just so I'm not going to lose what we just did. But then I want to show you, I'm going to take you back to that previous menu, that Sales Spark menu. And here we go. So now let's go back to the Sales Sparks. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to copy this set text variable node. And the reason for that is because I could not find this particular type of node here in the menu. So we're just going to go ahead and copy that node. Then I'm going to go back here to the topic that I just created. That's my prompt menu. And I'm going to go ahead and paste that. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to set the variable over here. This is a new variable that I'm creating. And then you saw earlier, right, that it actually showed create case. Let me actually go back here. Let me show you what I was talking about. So if you go back to this account, view prompt, create records. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a variable for this guy. And you will also see that it says create case, right? And then I'm also going to create a variable for this guy that says create records, right? This group. So let me navigate back here, right? So this says create case. So if you wanted to say something else, you can enter something else in there as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and select this one and copy it. And I'm going to paste it. And this one is going to be called topic create records. And then I can say create records, right? Because that's what I wanted to show. You saw that earlier. Now, the next thing that I want to do here is I want to click and find parse a variable. And you can see that here under variable management, you can do a parse value. Now, again, I found this by just looking at the SalesSpark topic, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do a bracket space bracket. Then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set this to a table because this is actually going to generate my records or my menu items, right? So let me just go back here to show you what I'm talking about. This is going to create all of the items that are going to be sitting here in this create records group. That's what I'm doing right now. So let me just go navigate back here. I'm going to save this variable. It says here select variable, but we're actually going to create a new variable. And we're not going to call this var. We're going to call this create records. I cannot type, people. Create records sparks, right? And I'm just going to leave this. I don't need to do anything else. I can just go ahead and click out of that, right? And as you can see, now we have that parse value. It's a table, and those are our create record sparks, right? Now, in the next step, I want to set the value of the variable that we just created here in this parse value step, right? So I'm going to click plus here, and you see here variable management. I'm going to click on set a variable value. So I'm going to select this variable, create record spark. And here we are, create record sparks. And then I'm going to set this to a formula. Now, you're probably going to wonder, like, well, where did you get that formula? How did you know how to do that? I actually looked at the original topic, and that's what actually allowed me to reuse that formula. And you can kind of see that here, right? So in here, I'm entering all of the prompts that you will see in that particular group, right? So there's only one, right? I only have this create case, but if I had multiple ones, I would add all of those here. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to click here on insert, and we just set our variable value. So the next step here is to set another variable value. So I'm going to click on the plus button, variable management. I'm going to set a variable value. But before I do that, we have to create a new variable. And I'm going to click here on var1 because I want to change the name to Spark Groups. And as soon as I close this out, you'll notice that it says that it doesn't know what data type it is, right? It is unknown. But it will know as soon as we set this value. So I'm going to click here on select variable. And I'm going to go to formula. And this is another formula that I was able to figure out by just looking at the original SalesSparks topic. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this in, right? So here you can see we're creating the group, and then we're also actually adding those individual sparks in there, right? So that's kind of what we're doing here. I'm going to click on insert, and there we go. So the next thing that we need to do now is, again, we're going to do a parse value. So I'm going to click here on plus, variable management, parse value. And again, I'm going to do these opening brackets, closing brackets with a space in between, right? And I'm going to save this in yet another new variable. We want to set the type first, obviously. We're going to do table. And I want to set the name of that to the sparks. And there you go. And sparks is now set to a table. Now, there's two more things that we need to add here, two more set variable value steps. And you can go ahead and copy and paste them from the Sales Spark topic. So let's go ahead and navigate back to that Sales Spark menu. I'm actually going to go ahead and open that in another browser real quick. So here we are again in the Sales Sparks topic. I'm going to scroll all the way down. And what we want to do is we want to copy this guy, and then we want to copy this guy as well. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click on copy. Then I'm going to go ahead and navigate back to my own topic, and I'm going to click here on paste. That's that first one. And then I'm going to navigate back, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this guy, navigate back to my own topic, and I'm going to go ahead and paste that over there. And that is it. From here, you can then go ahead and save, right, those changes that you've done. And once that's done, you got to make sure that you are not forgetting to publish your Copilot as well. And that is it. You have just customized, configured, extended, right, your prompt menu inside of the Copilot in Dynamics 365 Sales. Now, I did want to mention that if you don't log out of Dynamics 365 Sales, you're not going to actually see your Spark menu changes, right? So you need to log out and then log back in, because those sparks are actually cached. So if you do like a hard refresh or anything like that, that is actually not going to allow you to see those changes. So make sure, again, that you log out and then log back in so you can see how your menu has changed. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss another video again. In the meantime, feel free to check out these other videos as well to learn even more. Thanks for watching. Until next time.